Whenever we're out on a gig and there's a porta potty, I keep a wide berth just in case they're going to push me in there.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I always thought, like, what's wrong with us? Because, yeah, we've been through, like, 5 bass players. And every time it was like, oh, yeah, I wouldn't mind joining your band. And then they all get really good and going, all right, I'm going to start my new thing. And then they go off and do some amazing bands. And we're like, maybe it is me.
Rob Ruckus,
Nick Collins,
Kate Clover,
Keith Semple,
Isaiah Mitchell,
Billy Harvey,
Tim Howard. Check it out, Almost Famous Magazine.
Hey everyone, welcome back to The Hang, brought to you by Almost Famous Magazine. I'm your host, Scott Saldinger. Thank you for hanging with us, getting to know musicians well beyond just their music, really diving into who they are and what their lives are like and the things that matter to them. If you are new to the channel, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. You know what to do. Subscribe, hit the bell, all that stuff. We have so many amazing episodes for you to see. If you've come back and you haven't told your friends about us, what in the world are you waiting for? Come on, we could use the love. Also, if you prefer to take your podcast on the go, well, guess what? You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. So check us out. Today on The Hang, as part of our Dollfest 2026 coverage, I'm hanging with Kayla Renelle, Alex Quick, Andrew Narveson, Narveson. Oh, Narveson. There are a lot of vowels in that name, man. Brandon McCullough of Voluntary Hazing. And although they don't advocate hazing, I have a feeling screwing up a name, I may get hazed during this episode. They're from San Jose, California. They're a 12-piece ska and pop punk powerhouse. You know how we feel about both ska and punk here on the podcast. They're not afraid to swerve into psychedelic jams, disco grooves, or even stripped down acoustic moments during their shows. This group is classically trained. They are marching band geeks. Gotta love it. I was there myself one time. Who were experimenting with rock music and evolved into a full-blown horn-driven explosion. Say that 5 times fast. I bet you can't. Complete with trombones, trumpets, alto, tenor, and bass saxes, pushing their sound into something massive, joyful, wildly unpredictable. And I gotta be honest, I've never seen a band who had their own music video for lyric video with a ghost. So maybe they do the Ghostbusters theme during their performances. We're going to find out today. So if you love big brass, high energy, ska revival bands, and a band that turns discipline into pure chaos in the best way possible, joy through music, this one's going to move you. Welcome, Kayla, Alex, Andrew, and Brandon to The Hang.
Hi.
Hello, thank you for having us, Scott.
Absolutely, and I'm amazed I got through all of that. I really that was a lot. That was a lot. So, I want to get to the fact that to begin with, your name is Voluntary Hazing, but you don't advocate hazing. Talk to us about that. I saw that online, and I think, wait a minute, I can't. I gotta get. That's the first thing I got to know is how do we rectify that one? Tell me about that.
Well, there's definitely some lore there, but we literally start out almost every show with a disclaimer. We say we do not advocate, for hazing in any way, shape, or form. Whether or not you have fun tonight is up to you. No hazing. And it came from a marching band incident when we were all back in college marching band. Do you want to explain this part, Alex?
Oh, yeah, sure. We, as a band, started as a group that would just meet after marching band. And my last year in marching band, we would start out the first game of the year by all the freshmen would voluntarily go into one of the brand new porta-potties, and we would play the fight song. And I think that year the school came down on us going, hey, you can't do that. That's hazing. And as a joke, we were like, nah, man, it's all voluntary.
Well,
don't worry about it.
It not a joke, though. There was a whole town hall meeting about it. It was because you didn't have to do it to be in the band. And always 20% of the new people didn't do it. It was just it's just band kids being band kids, doing kind of stupid things like that. So yeah, there was this whole town hall meeting. It was a tradition for 30 plus years. And, people rose during this meeting. They're like, I didn't go in the porta potty. I thought it was stupid. I didn't do it. Nobody made me feel bad because I didn't do it. And it still got shut down. But it became this thing that people are like, it wasn't hazing. It kind of feels like it because it's like a college ritual thing, but a lot of people still didn't do it. You didn't have to. Nobody cared.
Kayla, did you do it your freshman year?
I did it. I was in one of the bigger ones with 2 tubas.
Because my freshman year, I didn't do it, and then I felt like, oh, it's kind of silly, and then I did it the second, third, and fourth year. I was in the marching band.
I never did it. And one of my closest friends in the band, the marching band at the time, was one of the biggest proponents of that particular tradition. And I just told him straight up, I think this is really dumb, and I don't want to get my horn damaged. So I'm just not doing this. And he goes, that's fine, man. Don't worry about it. You know, so.
I got a question. So, typically marching season starts what, in August, right? Mid late August. Yeah. It's kind of hot during those months, no matter where you live. I can only imagine. I can't imagine why anyone would say yes to get into a hot porta potty in August that had potentially the propensity to have been previously used. I don't like. Who says yes to that?
So that's why you do it the first game before they get destroyed.
Yeah. Like a lot of the attendees hadn't been to the game yet. We were like waiting before the pregame show. Mm-hmm. It's just one of those things. You're 18. You're at your first. It's for the first ever game of the season, and you're living in the moment. And you go in and you play the fight song, and you walk out a champ.
And the mascot got in on it. And the cheerleaders were involved peripherally. The mascot would sometimes go into the porta potty with them with the full helmet on and everything. Yeah. So it was a whole thing.
Wow. I wore a mascot uniform once. Well, it was a costume of a mascot. Yeah. That was hot enough as is. So now what you're doing is you're putting an oven in an oven with a lot of reverberation. I you know what? Is there a song behind that somewhere? Have you written a song about being trapped in the potty?
We had an idea for a name of a song that it would be porta-potty, but the song hasn't become a thing.
That's always in the back of our brains. One day.
You know what? Maybe you put that together for Dollfest. Now there's a sense of urgency. You got about 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks.
Wow.
I don't know. No pressure there. No pressure, and you certainly don't want pressure.
Right? Yeah.
No hazing, and you don't want any pressure Voluntary. When you're in a porta potty. Right. You don't want porta potty. All right. Well, let's. Now that I got that one off the table, I got no more questions. We're done. No, just kidding. So let's. So you're all in marching band together. There's a dozen people in the band now. You got how big is the band? How did you all decide that? Okay, we're gonna. It's hard enough getting a band of 2, 3, 4 people together. That's like a dozen is like herding cats. Tell everybody about tell everybody about how you brought this amalgamation of individuals together to become a single unit like this after college, right? To stick together and stick with it.
You want
Well, we can do it together.
Okay.
It started out as a club.
Yeah.
At school, the SJSU Ska Ensemble. And that was at its max, 50 people.
Yeah.
Playing Real Big Fish. We all gather and play Sell Out.
It was me and one of our saxophonists. We went to a club meeting. I think it was one of the music fraternities. And we were like, oh, let's just jam. And me and our buddy Thomas was like, wow, man, everyone's kind of square. Can't read music. No one's having fun. So the two of us thought well, let's put a ska ensemble after marching band. And so we had charts of Real Big Fish, Less Than Jake, the Boss Tones. And it was just kind of an excuse to kind of get all the kind of square college marching band geeks into having fun, teaching them how to skank and play at the same time. And yeah, the band, the ska ensemble was just a revolving door of musicians between 50 people at one point. We had a sousaphone player show up, mellophone players, just whoever played. Kayla you weren't even a singer when you first showed up, right?
No, I was the electric ukulele player.
Now, I will say, I mean, I've been to Hawaii and did not hear a lot of electric ukulele ska when I was in Hawaii. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah. It was the saxophonist Thomas, after marching band one day, he's like, we need a second guitarist. And at that point I didn't play guitar. I do now. But at that point I just had my ukulele and I had a ukulele obsession. And I had my electric one, and I'm like, I can play ukulele in the band. And Tom's like, yeah, that's cute. I'm like, no, I can plug it in and we can jam. And he's like, okay, you're in. And then the gal who was supposed to be the singer, she kind of had to drop out, and then everyone's kind of looking at each other and like, okay, what do we do? I'm like, well, I got this whiny pop punk thing I can kind of do. And they're like, okay, you're in.
Hard sell.
Yeah.
Now, that does not sound like there was any hazing involved. I think that was a very soft landing on that one.
Yeah.
We took whoever we can get at the time.
That would never reek of desperation. I think you landed. I think you landed on the right one. I think it's great that you know that kept you all together, and I mean, I can only imagine 50 people in a room to begin with, like playing ska songs all together. That had to be amazing. But through the art of attrition, I think you ended up with a band, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of just like as time went on, because we did that for a few years, probably 2 before we became Voluntary Hazing. It kind of just whittled down to the same people that were showing up week after week. And we wanted to start doing gigs like outside of school campus. So we're like, okay, we can't be the SJSU Ska Ensemble when we go, you know, play places. So we came up with Voluntary Hazing, and we recruited this guy a few years ago. So Brendan joined us. And
so Brendan wasn't in the original. Oh, wait. So audition? He wasn't part of the club. I mean,
no, I worked my way in here. My arm's failing. So hang on.
Oh, you may need that. You may need that arm to play music with. Be careful. No injuries during the podcast recording, everybody. Not allowed. Although I've yet to have a podcast recording where someone did have to leave and go to the hospital. So there's always a first, but let's hope not.
Well,
keep your arm on. Keep your arm on, buddy. Keep your arm on.
Okay, that problem should be fixed now. I had just gotten out of another band and was looking for the next thing that I was going to do, because I've never been not in a gigging original band for the last probably almost decade now. And about that time, another group that I had played with previously was helping to advertise for Voluntary Hazing. They needed a bass player. They told me they'd been through about 6 or 7 people so far, and I said, well, what are they doing to these bass players? So I picked up and sent in my audition and walked in, and they said, okay, yeah, you got it. And it's been a good couple of years, but yeah, not from the SJSU marching band.
The fact that you said what happened to these other people, they're probably locked in a porta-john on a work site somewhere, and no one's heard from them in years.
Yeah, whenever we're out on a gig and there's a porta-potty, I keep a wide berth just in case they're going to push me in there.
Nah, I'm not going to lie. I always thought, like, what's wrong with us? Because, yeah, we've been through, like, 5 bass players. And every time it was like, oh, yeah, I wouldn't mind joining your band. And then they all get really good and going, all right, I'm going to start my new thing. And then they go off and do some amazing bands. And we're like, maybe it is me.
You know, I know someone else in a band, and they've been through lead singer. He's been in a bunch of different bands, and the only common denominator about why people have left work, he's the only one in all of them. So I'm like, dude, I think you're the common denominator. I think it's because he's like, oh no, it can't be. Now he's got a complex. So hopefully there's band therapy for that. So I mean, having been a marching band trumpet player myself, and a lover of ska music, obviously, how did you figure out that ska was going to be the thing that was the kind of the avenue you wanted to take for the sound? What is it about ska and punk that really speaks to all of you?
Well, I know for me, it was Thomas, one of our founding fathers. It was really Thomas, Alex, and Gabe, our guitarist, who kind of started this whole thing. But Thomas was literally just like, I love ska, and you guys should all come play it with me. And everyone's like, okay. For me, I, growing up, was really into pop punk and like Warped Tour kind of scene, and have been in, wind ensemble bands since I was 8 years old. So seeing the horns in the ska bands at Warped Tour, like wait a minute, there's like this punk with the band instruments. What? So that's kind of where I was drawn to that. But I'm definitely one of the pop punk emo ones of the group here. But ska is just, it's so much fun, and unites people, has that history of that, and it's a beautiful thing, and I'm so happy to be part of the scene.
Yeah, I can kind of speak to the Thomas situation because I happen to be his brother. So the ska is kind of in the DNA of the band. He was looking at a school of music that was sort of very conservatory-esque. Everyone's either practicing to be classical or jazz, and that's all you really had a choice for. And at community college, you did, I did, and he did this class called a jazz rock ensemble, and it was really a class in how to be a musician and do more of the rock band kind of thing. And he wanted to bring that energy to this very conservatory-esque situation, environment. And it was, how do we get more of this rock band sound into people who are very talented but aren't familiar with that kind of thing? And ska is kind of the intersection of that, And so that's sort of where that was coming from. I may have butchered that story because I am not Thomas, I'm his brother, but we talk.
I think the short answer is there's a very thin line between being a band geek in school playing clarinet and saxophone, and you go like, I want to be punk, I want to go like rock and roll and like stage dive, but how do I do it with a horn? And it has to be ska. It's kind of hard to be in a hardcore band and you're like working on your etudes on flute and stuff like that.
I've always thought that maybe if metal was brave enough to bring in some horns, maybe. I mean, considering they're primarily based on classical music. I mean, not an orchestra, but if let's say, I don't know, Megadeth had a couple trumpets, maybe a saxophone player, and somebody playing some strings, I think that would add another dimension to it. But I totally understand where you're coming from. I remember when, the kind of the rise of punk, and it was just a little bit harder than what I was at the time early on in my musical appreciation, kind of open to, but ska felt friendly and inviting. And it was because of the horns and because it was, it wasn't as, although the music is driven, it's more of a bounce as opposed to a run, right? So I can totally understand that. Let's go around the horn. From a ska influence, who are a couple of bands or artists that have each influenced you? Why don't we go? Gosh, I don't have names here, so I've got. Let's go all the way. So you're on this all together screen. Yeah, go that way. Go to your right. You're right. Let's start on the right.
Me. Okay.
Brandon. Brandon. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's all right. We've only got one name to know, so you've got four. That's unfair. The ska influences. My biggest one is going to be No Doubt. And then the other one that I could probably cite for myself, at least, would be Jeff Rosenstock, and anything that he's been involved in that's sort of ska adjacent. I know he's had other bands before, and then his album Ska Dream is a really big one for me. Yeah.
Nice. Alex.
I mean, silly, but like the intro to ska for me is 90s Nickelodeon. You have like Kablam was the Toasters, and yeah, just like 90s culture just radiated as a child. And I didn't even know what ska was, but boy, howdy did I love playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater. And then like getting out of high school, it was listening to a lot of Real Big Fish and just being silly. The Aquabats. I currently work with a lot of kids right now, and so when I get tired of listening to Rafi or the Wiggles, I will slide in like the Aquabats to go like, yeah, man, pizza party, woo! And so I've always like stayed to that like silly, lighthearted kind of ska.
Mm-hmm. Andrew, how about you?
Sure. For me, the start was Real Big Fish. I think I discovered them in about 2008, so I was kind of late to the party. And I've been more doing a retrospective now, so I've been getting into the beat again. Their early stuff, so kind of that two-tone feel. It's fun. That's where I'm at the moment.
No, two-tone is amazing. And I don't know, do you know Buck? Have you met the Toasters? Have you all met the Toasters?
No, not yet.
Oh, Toasters are amazing. I've got my niece like so jazzed up on them. They were here. I live just shy of Denton, Texas, and they were performing here, and went up and hung with them, took some photos, and did concert photography, and then got an album for my niece who she's building out her. Well, I'm building out her album collection actually, but she's gonna see them pretty soon live. One of her first couple of concerts she'll ever get to go to is the Toasters. So Buck's amazing. He was on with us last year. Yeah. So, Kayla, how about you?
Yeah. Kind of like I was saying before, kind of pop punk got me into ska. So it was like a lot of the first ones I really was into were Less Than Jake and Real Big Fish. And then like retrospectively also realizing like, oh, No Doubt, Sublime. That's what that influence is. And then today, a lot of ska bands inspiring us. Love Bite Me Bambi. We've got to play with them. They're super cool. 2:30, Kill Lincoln, Jer, We Are the Union. A lot of great bands right now.
Yeah, my thing is I was at Punk Rock Bowling last year, and I didn't even know the Interrupters existed before then, and now I'm like obsessive. I'm like, I've got it all. Can't wait because they're in the studio apparently, and there should be a new album later in the year, so that'll be a lot of fun. You've got a catalog. Your last album was out. What was it? A year ago? Was it about a year ago? Your last album?
2024. Yeah.
All right, 2 years. 2 years ago. Who's counting? It's
Blur's. It was July. Yeah.
Every day is Blur's day, so it could have been last week. But I like to introduce people to the music of a band in the following way. You've got a catalog, and we live in a world of shufflers these days, right? I mean, it's hard a lot of people do not sit down and listen to something front to back. That being said, and this will be interesting since we have the four of you here, if people watching us are like, okay, I've got to go out and check out Voluntary Hazing's music, each of you pick a song. Don't share this with each other. If your catalog was a meal and someone was going to come up for the appetizer, which song do each of you feel is like the best intro to the band that really speaks to who you are so that they want to check out the rest of your catalog?
First. Am I going first?
Yeah, go first.
I'm always going to say Phone Tag.
Why?
That's my absolute favorite because we bring a lot of, and I'm speaking as someone who didn't write on a lot of that album. I think I'm actually only recorded on a couple of tracks, but so from an outside perspective, that's what just grabbed me by the ear first. It's a lot more straight up ska than a lot of the other things on the album. And so it's a good intro to the influence and the style of the band in general, while being in that sort of familiar ska context.
Okay. Now let's see if there's agreement or disagreement amongst the other members of the band. How about
there's disagreement. I feel like, and that's what I love about our band, is we all have such different preferences and like where we're coming from. But I would hands down say our song 3 Years, which is the opening track of the album. And I definitely pushed for that to be the opening track because I'm like, if we get a few seconds of somebody just hits the song at the top, like, I feel like it's a good, well-rounded example of what our sound is. Because we got the kind of lighter, almost ska guitars in the verses. We got the chunky, more punk in the choruses. I know I wrote most of the lyrics. Like, I think it's the super emo, dramatic lyrics and storytelling going in that song. We got Gabe doing this awesome guitar solo. Like, the intention was definitely like you turn on the album and it kind of hits you in the face and you're like, okay, you're getting sucked into this world. So that's where I would tell people to start. And then we kind of go all over the place from there. But I think that's a good starting point. That's a little bit of everything and high energy and fun and dramatic.
So I disagree immediately. I'm gonna say like the one that would have to be like what is Voluntary Hazing. It's like the first song we wrote is Why, because like that feels like the blueprints to every time we try to write a ska song. It's like, oh no, we just rewrote Why again.
No, we don't.
But it does have like I don't know. It feels like a structural like cornerstone of what the band would become. Just straightforward ska song. The horn lines are reference to a classical piece of music. I'm also biased because I think it's one of the few songs I wrote lyrics for. But no, I think that song is just so like structurally what all of the rest of our songs kind of build off of do we want to do something different or something similar to Why?
And I'm going to have a fourth opinion. I was originally going to say Phone Tag, and as much as I love Phone Tag, I'm going to go with Reciprocate some. Just because it's incredibly like up energy, makes you want to get out there and have a good little dance. It's great.
Well, now I hate to break this to you, but the rest of the band is watching, and this was actually your annual employee reviews. So we'll see.
They come on the screen, the big reveal.
That would be. I should do that sometime. I really should. I should do that sometime. That'd be a great idea.
Actually, when the album came out, we had a whole discussion about that, and everyone had a different opinion on what the best song on the album was.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is actually a great segue.
Everybody had their own thing. I think every song was one of them.
Are you going to talk about Thomas's love for Professionally Offended?
Am I? Or do you want to?
Well,
I
okay.
told the Thomas story already. You get to tell.
So Thomas lives in Seattle. That's why Thomas isn't here.
He's mythical.
I know. He firmly believed our song Professionally Offended was going to be like our big hit. He's like, this song's going to take off. It's going to become a thing. I'm like, I don't know. It's like definitely our hardest song. And it's our most like political song. It's about how, powers that be use social media to divide people and cause hatred among them. So Thomas is like, this is relevant. This is saying something. This is cool. This is going to be our song. And he decided to bet. He's like, if this isn't our number one song in 6 months, I'll eat a reed, which is, what you put on the saxophone. And it became a whole thing and it became a battle. And then that's its own story. We did nibble on some reeds because he did win, but it's because there was a 10-year-old with an iPad who was like rallying for him. She took up his cause. It's a long, complicated story. We did a whole show about it. We had puppets. that Andrew designed.
I had to learn how to make reeds and then learn how to cook reeds so they were edible.
So it depends who you ask what the song is, and there's a lot of battling there.
We need to do another one of those. Maybe not so.
Well, look, having to eat reeds takes living a high fiber diet to a whole new level.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
the morning after is fun.
I can only imagine. Meanwhile, so Thomas is he's your hybrid employee, right?
Yeah. Working from home.
We have a couple of those.
Which I do have to say, we made special reeds for this occasion. So anyone watching, please do not try to eat reeds. We had a little trick to make sure it was safe. So
it's called sugar cane and a lot of time and effort.
They played though.
Yeah, you can play them pretty well.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, you know what? Maybe. All right. Look, this is all about spur of the moment. Perhaps that's some merch. That's a merch opportunity. Edible reeds.
Because we do have reed magnets and pins now because it's such a. When you made this awesome sticker design, I'll let him talk about the sticker design, but we haven't done our own edible reeds for sale. So you're right, that is something. Although I feel like that could be a legal problem if something happens.
We don't have lawyers yet.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, you don't need a lawsuit at this state of the game. So I'm always interested because we live in, now more than ever, we have accessibility to more people in the world than we ever have at any given time in human history. And the idea of living kind of sliding doors and people come and go in your life more than ever. I'm always interested, for each of you, is there someone who's come into your life at some point who has, been an individual who's really had the biggest impact on you as a musician or your guidance in becoming the musician you want to be? Is there someone who's had that kind of impact on you that even if they're not there all the time, you kind of take them with you?
I'll step up to this one first. I'll be the one, at least one, to be sappy about it. My aunt on my dad's side, who when I got into band, started playing the clarinet. Next thing I know, she's giving me a guitar, giving me a bass. I started gigging at 13 because I was being snuck into bars for blues jams. So her push for me to be a musician has always been a really, really big thing. And so, yes, I do always take her with me. She passed a handful of years ago, but it's absolutely every time I get up on stage, she's there for sure.
I love that. That is awesome. That's a great story.
Yeah,
who wants to go next?
I'll go next. For me, it's my community college instrumental professor, Phil Zahorsky. He really took me as a player coming out of high school and completely remolded me as a whole from the ground up. And it was frustrating, but totally worth it. Unfortunately, while I was taking lessons from him, we lost him to medical issues. But every note I play, there's a part of him in it.
That's lovely. I like that.
It's actually at the same community college. I had a professor named Tim Roberts, and he was like the first guy that showed me. It's like, well, cool, you're playing the music right, but what's the show? So we would have a class that you talked about earlier where we played rock and roll songs, and he was like, all right, cool, man. You got 5 songs. I don't want to hear any dead air. And I need you to like look at the audience like you're the coolest dude in the world. And all the girls are going to want you. All the guys want to be you. And if you put on clown makeup, maybe they'll watch you more and stuff like that. And so a lot of times when I'm playing, I'm like, cool, we sound great, but what's the show? What makes it a fun? What makes it a party? Yeah. And so, yeah, he's a guy that I always think about, like, what can I do more to have fun?
Nice. Kayla, how about you?
Definitely a few teachers growing up that had a huge influence, but I think I'm gonna shout out my older cousin Colin. As a kid, I'd go to some of his punk shows. He's still in the band Touch My Rash, and he was that's a story too, but we won't get into that.
Interesting names running the family.
You know, I hate to say it, but between the activities of the bands and the porta-potties and your cousins, that the name of that band, you guys, your real name should be Petri Dish. Because there's so many things that have to do with germs going on in your lives.
Yeah. I mean,
our side band, it's going to be a hardcore.
Yeah, I like Petri Dish. That has a good ring to it. But yeah, he was an early believer in me, and my brother and I would go hang out with him, and he had, his little studio set up in my aunt's sunroom, and he'd be like, let's just record some stuff because it's fun. And he was, turning me on to a lot of emo bands and punk bands, and yeah, so and he comes to quite a few shows and is still supportive, and I'm thankful to have a cousin like Colin.
That's great. All right, I gotta get my hat off the Petri Dish idea now because I want to switch gears a little bit. I watched some of your videos. Love the video where you're a bodyguard. We live in a world of creative. Everyone's a creative these days, right? I mean, you can't just be a musician; you have to be a creative. You can't just be a painter; you have to be a creative. The whole creative universe out there. But what I want to understand the story behind this is, there are a lot of ways to make a lyric video, but a ghost holding cue cards like they're Bob Dylan was really taking it to a whole nother level. How did that whole happen? I mean, how did the whole thing happen?
So that you were asking earlier if I was the one in the ghost costume, and that was me. I thought you were talking about, so we have the same ghost costume on the album cover. So somebody else is in there for that. But basically, I mean, the real tea here is, we had filmed the music video for Disappointment, and I was so busy working on booking for the band that that was just taking a long time, so I wasn't able to finish editing the music video, and we wanted something to go with the song at the single release. So I was like, I'm gonna put together a lyric video real quick. So I think a day or two before, I'm like, let me just I had a vision, and I'm like, let's just do it. And it all comes from the line in the song Disappointment. You won't text back, but is it ghosting me if you're still watching every Instagram story? So we just kind of ran with that, and it's like, that's fun. Got a little ghost guy in there. And it was as simple as I'm like, we need content. And it did pretty well. It got way more views than I thought it would. I'm like, oh, okay. And I know, so the boys were like, this is way better than the video. And I'm like, oh, I still have to finish editing that video. It's almost there. It's been a while, but we'll drop that kind of to wrap up the era, I think.
There you go. So tell me, how did y'all get involved in getting on the bill for Dollfest? I'm super excited. I've got I'm coming out. I'll be taking pictures. Hopefully we'll do some more interviews out there. So how did Dollfest come about for y'all?
It was something I had seen happen last year. I wasn't able to attend, but I'm like, oh my God, there's all these awesome bands playing. Love the femme energy, right? And they had some ska bands we loved, Bite Me Bambi and Half Fast 2. And since it was happening locally, I sent Maria an email. I'm like, hey, if you need a local ska band, this is our band, and send the press kit and everything, just kind of put it out there. And then she emailed me back within a few hours, and she's like, hey, I had heard about you guys because I wanted more ska, and I have friends telling me about you, and I was going to reach out to you. And she's like, when are you playing live? And I'm like, oh, well, this is lovely. I'm like, okay, our next show. And funny enough, our next show is one of our most unique shows. The band Elegant Trash, Lee, he does a lot of cool stuff around the community, and he does these solar van Saturday shows where he has this van he outfitted with solar panels and gear and stuff, and basically does like a kind of generator show out on the bay.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of in Berkeley. We had to hike like 20 minutes with gear to get there. And Maria's like, I'm gonna come to this show, and we're like, I warned her, I'm like, this is kind of out there. We've never done this before. And she came out and she brought one of her friends, and they were just having a great time, and we were having a great time just on the side of the highway playing some.
We were on the side
ska
of
punk.
Highway 80, right next to the bay. Yeah. Crazy wind blowing the whole time. We had to like dodge people on their bikes going through the pass.
And it was very DIY. It was very cool. And Maria's like, yeah, so you guys you're good. You're booked. We're in. And I'm like, thank you so much. So we are stoked to be on this lineup, by the way. There's so many amazing bands. I played Bad Cop like all the time when I was doing college radio at SJSU. So I'm like, we're on the same festival. That's crazy. So
no, it's going to be
that.
It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to coming out. I actually we're wrapping up all of our Dollfest episodes with Stacy from Bad Cop joining us. So kind of bookend Alice Bag, everyone, and Stacy from Bad Cop in the whole series of them. So I'm excited. And as long as the other 2/3 of the band show up, I'll get to meet everyone else.
Yay!
Is Thomas going to fly in?
Yes,
is he gonna? Okay, so he's gonna commute to work. One of the things we love doing is putting good things out in the world. So everyone has dreams and aspirations. For each of you, is there someone that if you had a chance to create with them for a day in a studio, is there someone that you would love to work with to be creative? Brandon, how about you? Oh, okay, you go first. Go first.
The mic's over here already. It's fine. Although not ska, for me personally, one-on-one, the person I would love to work with is Brian Sella of the Front Bottoms, just because I'm a ginormous fan of his lyricism and songwriting approaches, and I would just love to pick his brain more about that and see if I could get even an ounce of his instinct for myself.
Nice. All right. Now you, Kayla.
Okay. I feel like the boys already know what my choice is. It's my favorite artist of all time would be John Bellion. He just the way he produces, there's so many layers. I put my headphones on and I just close my eyes and feel like I'm in a different world. He does a lot of syncopated beats. It's just a lot of fun. He works with people of all different genres. He's been doing a lot and he signed the band Lawrence, which is like funk pop. So he works with the horns and stuff too. That's like my dream since I was like 18. I'm like, oh my God, imagine we got to work with John Bellion.
Nice.
I'll steal it.
Nice.
I'm like the last person in line.
For me, I'm going to pick someone who influenced me as a performer very young. I'd love to one day maybe work with Al Yankovic. As just kind of that idea of you can make it goofy, but also be incredibly talented at the same time.
Oh, he definitely
I didn't realize
is,
how much I would want to work with Weird Al. Because holy moly, talk about a person that has inspired my musical tastes. And no. Man. Well, you said Al Yankovic, so I'll take Weird Al, and so we'll combine the two of them. The man, the myth, and the legend. All three of them in the studio. Because
there you go. Both of his personas.
That's actually a great answer that I didn't realize I needed in my life.
Be like a bipolar recording session. Well, hopefully, if anyone out there is watching, and this is what I always tell everybody, if anyone who's watching knows any of these people, I don't care if you're their dog walker, you have a third cousin who knows them, do each of them a solid. Let's make some dreams come true. Real quick, we are big supporters of purchasing music. Although you can go to these other sites and sample, for free, the reality is that no one is getting ultra wealthy there unless your last name is possibly Swift. So the reality is you have to support your artists. Go buy tickets to shows. Whether you're seeing Voluntary Hazing at Dollfest or you're seeing them around town, buy tickets to shows. Buy merch. There are edible reads on the way. I'm now committing you to that as merch. I'm just not paying for the legal consult. But buy their album, buy their music, support the bands. That being said, there'll be links below so you can do that. And to round everything out, let's just go one time when you're not making your own music, right? And we're just sitting here hanging out and you're like, Scott, you got to check out this artist I've been listening to. Who are they and why? Andrew, why don't you go first?
Oh dear, I got it first. I'm kind of an old school fan of Green Day, so that's kind of my go-to when I just can't find anything. I always like what they play, so I'm never upset about it. And I'm going to reference my mom here. She's a big fan of the Beatles, which I also love the Beatles, but I feel the way about Green Day that she feels about the Beatles, where I'll put it on and I might not necessarily love the song, but I won't dislike it. So that's kind of my attitude.
All right.
If I have to pick someone, I'm going to probably rep one of our good friends out of Portland, Heaven Skate. Yep. Heaven Skate is I don't know, I put them as one of the greatest bar bands I've ever seen in my life. They teeter on doing country, rockabilly, psychedelic. The first time we played with them, we were just like, "Where's the band?" There's no one on stage, and they come galloping with the coconuts like they're from Monty Python, and
that's awesome.
And then they did a melody of YYZ into "Feel Like a Woman," into it was they're insane, and they release an album almost every year. So and we just got contact with them, so hopefully we'll have a gig with them in was it August? Yeah.
Nice. All right, Brandon, how about you?
I'm going to say I've actually had this answer locked and loaded this entire time. I can't shout enough right now about an artist called Fishboy. All of his material is amazing. He put out an album in 2024 called Waits Giving, and it's one of the most awesome, well-rounded, complex storytelling albums I've ever heard. And I think I listened to that for nothing but a couple weeks, just that album. So if you haven't heard of him, that's who I'm going to shout out. Got to hear that Fishboy album, Waits Giving.
Nice. And Kayla, how about you?
I think, I can tell you right now, the album I'm anticipating the most right now is the new Noah Kahan album. Always good storytelling there. But I also want to shout out some friends. I'm going to shout out our friends in the Hellas. They are East Bay, and they do a lot of combining cumbia with ska and just put on a show. They get the pit going. They're playing their instruments out side of the stage. They're chanting. It's just such a good time, and I think they deserve some more love and credit because they're killing it. The Hellas.
Fantastic. I have my listening to do, so we can chat about them when I come out there. Everybody, this has been great. Maybe when the next album comes out, we'll get all dozen of you on at the same time.
That'll be chaotic.
That'll be chaotic, and we'll definitely be doing employee reviews on that episode for sure. Or band therapy, one of the two. You never know. So Kayla, Alex, Andrew, and Brandon, voluntary hazing, although please don't go hazing anybody, because then you have to go to a town meeting and it just gets messy, and you could be on the news and politics, and we don't have time for that. So check out the band. Buy your tickets to Dollfest. Get yourself to Dollfest to see them. I can't wait to see them perform. Thank you guys for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
It's It's been a lot of fun. Everyone watching, thanks for hanging with us. Please, as I remind you, it's so important. Show yourself a little love and compassion, and then give that to another person. It helps us all, and it helps you make yourself feel better about the times we're in. So please be good to yourselves, and till next time, it's been great. Bye, everybody.